34-31, the halftime scores. The Wright State Raiders lead the Northern Kentucky Norse. Welcome back here in Dayton, courtside at the Nutter Center, and we are pleased to be joined by the commissioner of the Horizon League, Julie Lach. Julie, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you,
and we're at this point in the year where often we are the people that say, well, the league's wide open. This year, it really feels as wide open as it's ever been in the Horizon League standings.
You're right about that. I think that's because we're deep. We've got some great teams. It's not the perennial powers that we're seeing tonight alone at the top. As we say, anything can happen on Friday night in the Horizon League. I think with this league this season, any team could rise to the top and host a quarterfinal once our championship gets underway.
You know, the last couple of years, you guys have obviously had the conference tournament in Indianapolis. Talk about a little bit about how much of an impact and how great that has been as a host for you guys that has made some exciting conference finals.
It's a difference maker. We wanted to have a destination tournament, central location, destination city. This will be our 4th year there. We just extended for 4 years, so the community has really rallied around it. Our fans love to come to Indianapolis because, it's an easy drive, but who doesn't love to watch basketball in Indiana?
That's exactly right. And this particular weekend is a special one for the Horizon League as you honor John McClendon. I love this. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Coach John McClendon, those who don't know, what a legacy and what an impact. So our student athletes and Coach Dennis Gates, of course, now at Mizzou, but when he was at Cleveland State, they got together and launched this initiative 3 years ago. Coach McClendon was the first Black coach to be hired at a predominantly white institution, which happens to be Cleveland State in our league. So we really wanted to celebrate that, lift up his legacy. And then, of course, he went on to be a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame coach, part of the secret game, which was one of the most iconic games that nobody knew about until the New York Times article came out about it in the 90s, where in the 1940s, NC Central took on Duke in a game of black players against white players, which was forbidden at the time. You can certainly read more about it. It's a fantastic initiative that you guys are doing. So you have the tournament coming up in Indianapolis. Tell us a little bit more about some of the other events that'll be going on for that weekend.
I think those amplifying events, as we call them, have really speak to how the community has rallied around it. So, of course, there's the fan zone, but more importantly, we have school day, and we already have over 2,400 Indianapolis area kids coming. And the best part is a lot of them, that's the first college game they've ever seen live, or for the women's champ game, the first time they've seen women collegiate athletes compete. And then, of course, this year it's our International Women's Day tip-off celebration where we have an all-star panel. Last year we had the president of the college football playoff, Susan Boffman. This year we've got another all-star panel lined up.
It sounds great. It should be a lot of fun. And we always say anything can happen on a Friday. You said it. But in the tournament, really, anything can happen in the Horizon League tournament. Julie, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Julie Lach, the commissioner of the Horizon League. We'll be back. Our second half is coming up. Wright State and Northern Kentucky in the rivalry game.